right in front of our gorgeous 60-foot tall copper column still. The process of our traditional distillation happens on what is a part of the Kentucky regiment, something known as continuous still operators. Using both a column still / beer still and your duct distilling directly on the grain and doing it on a twice run system. I'll walk through this process here, but now we ain't hiring for servicing, but just to literally pick his brain to teach our young distiller that we chose, or distiller to be. I say distiller to be because the man we chose, Brian Sprance, yeah, his narrative is similar to both Ken and Jess. He too has absolutely no experience in distilled spirits whatsoever. Stay with me, it's gonna make sense here in a moment. Brian's background is based in brewing, 15 years ago. And if you know about whiskey, you know this narrative. You gotta make a beer to get to the whiskey. The second pour space there is a set of rollers that will roll and press these grains down to get access to the starch and sugar that we require to create that beautiful alcohol. Now, there's 3 up here, we're going to use about 1 of those really actually driven into the barrel. So especially in our Kentucky regiment, we go with open fermentation because it's allowing the microbial bacteria do things that the yeast needs from the fermenting, starch and sugar in the cook. But there's something else that's so what's happening is that yeast is consuming the oxygen, the starches, the sugars, and those byproducts that are depleting are CO2. And the outdoor environment here as well too. So, and we'll refresh your name. What's your name again, sir? Adam. Adam asked a wonderful question. Where did we come up with the name New Riff? Well, Adam, it was better than the alternative. And I'm gonna go to my grave unless utterly verified to let you know what that name was, but just know it wasn't the greatest. But from that name, New Riff was birthed because of both the owner, Ken Lewis, and the co-founder's affection for music. And it goes back to the mission statement on our bottle, stated as such, a new riff on an old tradition. Loosely stated, a new riff to an old song. The song in question is whiskey. We're not here to change whiskey, y'all. We're here to add our subtle riff to the same old standard we know and love. Or more. Never under that. But the most important detail is it must go into the bottle at full maturity at 100 proof. So, well, you guys, that rush pretty good. All right. So, what we're going to get into next, to round things out, are single barrels. If you're unfamiliar with single barrels, I'm going to break it down the most simplistic way I learned it myself. And that is, let me do this first. Let me line them up here. Here I present to you new riffs, sets of fraternal twins. Stay with us, it's going to make sense here. Now, these two are separated because of one thing. The way they're bottled, essentially. But keep in mind, they're fraternal twins to each other because they share the same DNA. Now, biology and chemistry majors, I ain't talking about the structured DNA. I'm talking about the mash bill. Remember it again. 65, 30, and 5 will make these two exactly the same. 95, 5 makes these two exactly the same. What makes them absolutely different is the fact that this guy is a single barrel. This guy is a single barrel. They are going to be bottled all by the lonesome. So 150 to 200 bottles, all for one barrel of bourbon. Same here, for one barrel of rye. What we get to the difference with the bonded spirits is for blending together a multitude of barrels, typically around 25 to 30 barrels to showcase the blend of all of our bourbon barrels. A bonded standard, this is essentially the standard of what our flavor profile is.